So it seems that like every so often when I come out and make a One Piece discussion about how this arc is going to end, what's going to be the status of each character, that Oda changes the questions when you think you have the answers. And that's a great trait to have in any storytelling, especially with One Piece. A prime example that even though Luffy's new mode was kind of like foreshadowed and predicted, ever since the Luffy versus Cracker fight when he revealed the Tank Man to a second mode in Gear 4. Now that was kind of obvious even before then, but now we've got confirmation of a third form, which kind of begs the question, will there be a fourth and final form, quote unquote, that we get in Wano, which hypes Wano even further? I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Admittedly, this arc can still have a plot twist, but I'm pretty confident about certain events I think could happen and should happen, but this is a discussion nonetheless. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. How you think this arc should go. So personally, the series of developments that's going to take place. Number one is Luffy obviously versus Katakuri. We know where we're heading with that. In my opinion, Oda set up not only Luffy versus Katakuri, the final round in this arc and this fight, the way that Oda can like extend this any further than he has, because this is what has this been the second longest arc in One Piece behind Dressrosa. So Oda's not going to overcomplicate himself anymore. That's the reason why Wano was put off on hold until this year, hopefully. So Oda's not going to do that. But in this chapter, also set up what I think is going to be Sanji, but finally getting his win back, getting that big power up, and this will be a great way to end this arc. Plus, I think this is where the Vince Smiths are involved, and everything's going to be resolved. The only thing I don't know is going to happen, because I don't know where Big Mom's going to be heading after this arc. Is she going down? I don't think so. But at the same time, what's going to happen to all the Charlotte family members? Are they going to get taken down? So that could happen. At the same time, there is some unfinished business on Elbaf, like I predicted way months ago, almost a year ago. If Big Mom makes it to Elbaf, and like I've been saying, I don't think Kaido would go down on Wano by default, even if they had the Supernova Alliance. I just don't see it happening. That begs the question, would all four Yonko appear on Elbaf? And the reason that's been predicted is because a lot of people speculated, myself included, that Elbaf is going to be the location of the fourth and final Poneglyph. I made a discussion on this a year ago. So that could be the case. So I don't know what's going to happen to Big Mom. And I don't think Katakuri is going to be killed off. Two reasons. One, Luffy doesn't have anything to kill a character. Plus, he has respect for Katakuri now. And Katakuri is a popular character. He is not going to kill off Katakuri. That would just piss off so many people at this point in the game. But I honestly setting up Luffy taking the major win over Katakuri. And whether people like it or not, or want to choose to admit it or not, this fight was never about Luffy taking an L. It was never about Luffy getting his ass kicked. It was Luffy furthering himself, advancing himself. If you go by what we saw in this entire fight, with a fighter that is comparable to Luffy, his combat style, his devil fruit style is similar to Luffy's, his properties, the makeup. Even now, his character is much like Luffy's. Very honorable, and I don't think that's done by accident, okay? You have an enemy or rival for Luffy that has an advanced level of armament haki, conqueror's haki, and obviously future seeing observation haki, which Luffy's getting a grip of right now. So I don't think that's done by design. Plus, Luffy's new mode is all about Luffy advancing himself further so he can be ready at least put somewhat of a fight on Wano. That's why Katakuri is there. It sucks for Katakuri fans, I know, because he's an awesome character, but that's the only reason this fight is taking place. But the other main thing that a lot of people have been crowed about is Sanji getting his win in this arc. Finally getting his power up and getting that major win that he has not gone since the time skip. It's been frustrating, and I think it's going to happen. Oda's been playing very subtle hints as well as to where this arc could be wrapped up. So you have more introductions to the Charlotte family members right now in Crocodile Island. We know that's where Sanji's heading. Why? Because that's the only mirror that's left on Whole Cake Island that Luffy can get by once he gets past his fight with Katakuri. We don't know what shape Luffy's going to be in. We don't know the drawback, if there is one at all. And the thing, here's the thing too. A lot of people can go ahead and criticize the fact that Luffy made best Katakuri because Katakuri stabbed himself in the previous chapter. But think about it. Luffy has already been nerfed ever since Gear 4 was introduced. Remember the limitations on Haki? If there was no limitation on Haki, could you imagine how OP, much more Luffy would be without that limitation? How much of an asset that would be if there was no drawbacks whatsoever? So again, we have to kind of draw the line here, and that's the reason why Luffy struggled as much as he has. So it's interesting what would happen if Luffy was at full. We still don't know what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to end in a one shot. But Sanji's case is a little more interesting because there's a number of different fights that a lot of people have been crowned for. Sanji versus Daifuku. Why? Because he nailed Pudding, and obviously he got pissed off by that. But I personally think because of his introduction, I guess he'd be reintroduced in this arc. What we got in this chapter was Snack. I think it makes perfect sense. Why? Who better opponent for Sanji than a Yonko commander? And a Yonko commander that a rogue kind of struggled with but managed to take down. That would be a great way of a feat of strength. I don't think another thing too. Why is Pudding with Sanji right now on Coco Island? There's two main reasons I can think of this. One is she's going to serve as a plot device for Sanji to get that power up if somebody strikes Pudding, which I think they will. And B, I think that's where Pudding is going to make up her mind of where she lies, because remember what she states in this arc. She stated like, okay, after this arc, regardless of what happens, I am done. I'm leaving Whole Cake Island. Remember, she has an interesting ability. I mentioned this in my review.
Aside from Big Mom not going down in this arc, I don't know what's going to be happening to Katakuri. He may go down with the L, courtesy of Luffy's new mode, but I do not think Luffy's going to kill Katakuri. The only villain I see you can't see Katakuri as a villain anymore, but the only person I see Luffy end up killing is Blackbeard because of whatever heinous shit he does by the end of the series. Maybe kidnapping or maybe even killing Nico Robin. I know it sucks, so I don't want it to happen either, but this was foreshadowed in chapter 818, so do not be surprised if that's the route they go in. Or, depending on what happens to Pudding, if she survives and Sanji and actually Pudding reunite, remember she has the three-eyed tribe ability to read the poneglyphs, so that could be a plot twist as well if she does not join up the Straw Hats again. By the way, Luffy kind of foreshadowed this before this arc even began. He said, oh, Sanji's getting married to somebody, I guess she can join our crew as well. So do not be surprised if they extend the invitation to Pudding later on in the series. So a lot of people said that there's too many guys on the crew, which I agree with. So Pudding would be an interesting choice, especially with the comedy quirks that they have, with the way the Pudding reacts to Sanji. So that doesn't happen every day. So that'd be kind of cool. But where if she doesn't join up the crew, I can see somebody like Blackbeard swiping Pudding near the end of the series. So that could be interesting to see where that goes. It's going to happen to Pudding, and which begs the question if Katakuri isn't going. Will Katakuri reintroduce himself in this series later on? Maybe as an ally. I don't know. He definitely respects Luffy, that's for sure.
I know some people want the pairing to happen. I don't know if Oda's going to actually pull the trigger on that, but I could definitely see them reintroducing Pudding again. They could have Pudding sacrifice herself to save Sanji, which I don't see happening. I do see her taking a big time hit that's going to piss off Sanji and give him a power up. I think that's just common sense at this point. It makes sense. It would be awesome to see Sanji get a win over a Yonko commander like Snack, which is at 600 mil, which isn't a pushover by any means. That's the reason why Snack is there. There's no other reason for it. Why introduce a Yonko commander if there's nobody there to fight him? Silhouetted, unlike the other introductions that we got in this chapter, so that's kind of cool. I also think the Vince Mates are going to appear as well. Which I know they have a common enemy, but they're going to fight together, which could be kind of cool. I was kind of hoping for a Reiju versus Smoothie fight because Smoothie has not done anything aside from juicing a lot of goals, which doesn't really speak to anything as a Yonko commander. We see Cracker put in the work. We see even Snap put in the work. Obviously, Katakuri's put in the work against Luffy. We've yet to see anything from Smoothie. I mean, she did grab a hold of Reiju, but I personally think Reiju would have been fine anyway. But given what we have now, I mean, could have Jinbei take her on. That'd be kind of cool. This should be Sanji versus Snack. It would make sense. Like I said with Pudding, she has a unique ability that she has not awakened yet. If she does not get killed off, I can see that being a plot twist for somebody else to snag her off. So that could be kind of interesting. I already talked about it in my review. I think it's going to be Blackbeard. But then the question remains: how is Luffy and Sanji going to get out of this predicament? We know, and I've been saying this since I've been blue in the face, but we've seen the visual already for Wano. It was revealed in October or September last year, and both Sanji and Luffy were in that visual alongside Nami, Usopp, and Chopper. We know they're going to make it to Wano. The only question is how. The power up for Sanji makes sense. Luffy going into his new mode was foreshadowed a long time ago. Even though some people may not agree with it, that's fine. So I just can't wait to see what this thing looks like. Plus, see how that plays itself out. I definitely think this is going to be resolved by chapter 900. Maybe, and it seems with like every 100 chapters that Oda has, something big happens. With chapter 700, we got Doflamingo revealing Ace's Devil Fruit. What happened after that? Sabo ended up getting the Devil Fruit. In chapter 800, even though it may not have been as big, or to be honest, a lot of people thought myself included, that chapter 801 should have been 800 because we had the return of Rob Lucci, the new bounties went up, as well as Doflamingo's epic speech about the final arc, the Throne Wars. So that should have been chapter 800. In return, we got the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. So by chapter 900, the only thing that makes sense is either the crew gets reunited and they leave Whole Cake Island, or Big Mom goes down in this arc some way. That's the only thing I don't know. What's going to happen to Big? Is she going to survive this arc, or is she going down in this arc? So I don't see who could bring her down at this point, but the wedding cake could knock her out. So as much as I've been saying, I think Reiji may end up doing something to save Sanji's life by sacrificing herself. I don't think that's going to happen. And Reiju's been my favorite character in this arc, so it could end the way it started, with Reiju on the Sunny saying farewell to Sanji. Remember how she was introduced? Was saving Sanji's life, or Luffy's life. So that could be the case. Anyway, let me know, guys, down below. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you did. It's a class discussion. Let me know how you think Whole Cake Island's going to be wrapped up. We're closer to the chapter 900. So subscribe to channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Bye.